Madam President, distinguished judges of the court, it is an honor to appear before you today to speak on behalf of the Republic of Armenia, which obviously has an interest in the fate of ethnic Armenians of Nagorno-Karabakh. We do not come to you lightly and had hoped that the matters addressed in our request would be resolved long ago through the intervention by the UN Security Council on 20 December 2022, as well as bilateral exchanges and letters to the court since then. But Azerbaijan appears intent on strangling the ethnic Armenians of Nagorno-Karabakh, no matter the human cost. One person has already died from lack of medical care, and numerous others are at risk of a similar fate. Grocery store shelves are empty, and food is being rationed. There are shortages in essential medicine and medical supplies. Trade and businesses have completely stopped. Gas has been repeatedly shut off entirely, and demand on the electrical grid has led to recurring and prolonged blackouts. The schools and kindergartens remain completely shut down. Children have been separated from their families 50 days now. Despite the mounting cost of this humanitarian disaster of its own making, Azerbaijan has sought to justify and perpetuate its blockade on a basis of an environmental fiction that no one believes. It does so despite its unequivocal commitment under the trilateral statement of 2020, November, to guarantee safe movement of citizens, vehicles and cargo in both directions along the Lachin corridor. And it does so in the face of near unanimous international condemnation, including from the EU, the Council of Europe, United States, France, and numerous other states, as well as Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, and countless other independent observers and organizations. Over a month ago, the European Court of Human Rights ordered Azerbaijan to take all necessary measures to ensure safe passage of seriously ill persons in need of medical treatment in Armenia, and those stranded on the road. And yet, Azerbaijan ignored the Strasbourg court as well, prompting it to take the extraordinary step of notifying Azerbaijan's non-compliance to the Committee of Ministers of the Council of Europe. I therefore appear before you in this great hall of justice as a last resort. If the court does not act quickly, the ethnic Armenians of Nagorno-Karabakh will be faced with an impossible choice: to leave their ancestral homes or to stay there and starve. President Aliyev has made that plainly clear. He has explicitly demanded that ethnic Armenians in Nagorno-Karabakh, quote, leave, end of quote. He has stated that Azerbaijan's, and I quote, main duty was to expel the Armenians from our lands, end of quote. He has stated that no songs will be sung in the alien language of Armenian, and that from now on, it will be the Azerbaijani language that will dominate this land. The blockade and the gas and electricity shutdowns and disruptions are specifically designed to make that happen. In President Aliev's words just days ago, and I quote, "If someone does not want to become our citizen, then the road is not closed, but open. They can go, or they can leave by themselves. No one will stop them. Or they can leave under the owning of peacekeepers' trucks, or they can go by bus." End of quote. In other words, ethnic Armenians may not enter Nagorno-Karabakh, but they may leave. Judges of the court, such blatant acts of ethnic cleansing have no place in modern era. And this court is the last hope for the ethnic Armenians of Nagorno-Karabakh. Madam President, judges of the court, with your permission, Armenia's distinguished counsel will now take the floor to present the remainder of Armenia's case. First, Mr. Lawrence Martin will address the facts justifying Armenia's request. Second, Professor Linos Alexandros Sicilianos will address the prima facie jurisdiction of the court, the rights for which protection is sought, and the link between such rights and measures requested. Third, Dr. Konstantinos Saloridis will address the irreparable prejudice and urgency requiring indication of provisional measures. Fourth, Professor Pierre Dargent will discuss the provisional measures requested. Finally, I will briefly return to the floor to read Armenia's submissions. I thank you, Madam President, distinguished members of the court, for your attention and careful consideration of Armenia's request. I now ask that you call Mr. Martin to the floor. Thank you.
For his statement, and I now